I was looking to buy a horse today, and looking to buy a horse the last few days. I like the way they opened up the new track. They opened up the new track, Oak Grove. Now, obviously, it's not new this year, but fresh meat, and you don't know what classes are going to fill. We sent Per Lucky down. It looks like he's going to fit if he ends up with a trip. Looks like Took a Dive Off Dipper for now is going to fit in the open quite well. Very happy with exactly what we purchased Era of Love to do. She did. Won that class, and there's lots of room for her to move, and I like that. I like the fact that we can do good, but it's not a one and done type situation. It's a situation where you've done well and there's a place to grow. And Oak Grove is secluded enough where nobody's just going to ship in to race there. You kind of have to be down there. It's 4.5 hours from Miami Valley to Dayton Raceway, so 4 to 5 hours in that southern Ohio area. It's 8 hours, 7.5 hours from Northfield. It's a long way from everywhere, and that's a good thing, though. We have our people in place now. Eric Paddlin is down there taking care of our horses. Jack did a great job in the weekend with them, obviously winning with Dipper, winning with Era of Love, and now Eric is down there for us. Now I want to make sure that we make the best of the most of the stalls that we have down there, and that's the other thing, is that it's going to get crowded. I found it a little disturbing yesterday that the calendar, thankfully Ray brought it to my attention, that the calendar that was being sent out was a bit preliminary, and it was not accurate. The staking schedule on Joanne's Staking was not accurate. All this time it's saying, well, the PA breds can't go because it's 4 days later before the stake races start. That's not accurate. It's not 4 days at all. So now that changes the landscape of everything, of the horses that we can or cannot send down, which makes Oak Grove that much more interesting. We don't want to flood a bunch of, Kentucky dual eligible horses down to Oak Grove. We're going to be very selective. We could have 2 trotters and 2 2 trotting fillies and 2 trotting colts potentially. I assume they're going to have at least 2 divisions, 2 legs, and a final. I think they go for 25, 25, and 100, or 25, 25, 75, or maybe even, I don't think it's 150. But it's really, really good money. So that's our first plan, our first staking engagement of the season for the most part, as far as regional staking is concerned, will be at Oak Grove. Now, we have 11 stalls there. Right now, we have 6 horses there. I thought we were going to pick up a couple today, and we may actually end up picking up a second one, but it won't be until after Thursday. I talked about that in an earlier video I did. A horse that Tim has racing on Thursday that would fit well in Oak Grove, but he's racing on Thursday. So we're going to watch that horse race on Thursday, go from there. Now let's talk about the horse we did buy. We bought a beautiful filly. Her name is Stay Special. Now, Stay Special, Stacy Chioda, everybody knows Stacy on the East Coast, a really, really good horse person. And I did not get to know her until today, but just seems to be a very upfront, really, really down-to-earth, nice person. And when I bought the filly and the write-up, it said her knees were sore. And, I'm looking at the filly. Now, keep in mind, we bought Era of Love with 1 win, so she fit the numbers of 2 because she drew the outside. With 1 win, with lots of growth, because once you get to price them, you can leave them in there, I think, till they make $35,000 up to the nominals of 4. There's lots of room to move down there for Oak Grove for those nominals of 1 through nominals of 3 or 4. So I was looking for another maiden filly, especially now that our filly has 2 wins, in that being Era of Love. I saw the Stay Hungry filly, lots of speed, and when they say, she's got some problems anyway, I'm not really that concerned with the problems part, because it just means that she is fast. Stacy said she had really, really high hopes. Listen, we've had lots of stories like this. Lots and lots of high hopes. Just things didn't work out, and it's a shame, and I really like this filly. And we've heard this. We've said these very words before. Stacy was telling me how they thought this was a really special filly, and she got sore on her knees at 2. They brought her back, got her ready. She gets sore on her knees again. So they've been trying to work her way through it, and they've had a bugger of a time doing it. So they put her up for sale. We bought her today for $19,200. She does fit the maiden at Oak Grove, but we are going to take her back to Northfield Park first. Get our vet, Dr. Latessa, to take a look at her and see what he thinks. Fresh set of eyes sometimes does a world of good, and sometimes it doesn't. At the very least, we have a very, very fast filly that we have to wait a little bit on at the most. we have a filly that we can race. And Stacy was saying, I just don't think I can keep her sound trying to race her in the Sire Stakes and trying to race her around Pennsylvania. Great. I have no issue and no interest in doing that. I have an interest in racing her in the maiden at Oakville. The maiden claimer, she would go for 35,000 would be her claiming tag in Oak Grove right now in the maiden claimer. And she'd have to get in the maiden claimer, she'd still have to win a race first off. So if we can get this filly sounded up and going forward, which I'm not saying we can, but if we can, I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic. If we can, she would be doing a lot of good things for us right off the bat. And hopefully we can do some good things for her too. If we can't, we wait on her. She's a really fast filly. I think this is one of those flyers that really isn't a flyer. When you break it all down, this was an underpriced filly that we picked up at a very opportune time for us. I have no interest in her being a stake filly in Ohio. Have all the interest in the world of her being a maiden filly at Oak Grove in the hopefully near future. So that's the plan with Stay Special. Stay Hungry filly out of a Western Ideal mare. Picked her up today on gate. Now Tim's horse, we'll see how that plays out on Thursday. If we like what we see, the price seems to be very fair, and he's a horse that we can also pick up quite easily. First things first, it's Tuesday. Let's get Stay Special out of the way. I'm going to start making some phone calls tonight, but first off, we're going to put all the shares that are available up for sale for you to purchase. So if you want to be involved with Stay Special, if you want to be involved with 3-year-old pacing filly that is hopefully going to follow in the heels of the one that we just bought for less money, I might add, then we'd be happy to partner with you. So Stay Special now on the stable.ca website. Take care.